All right, so Governor Otti Alex has been criticized countless times by his oppositions, and of course, every work he has put in place has always been countered to be a fake. Well, today we are going to be hearing from Governor Otti Alex as regarding some of the works that he has done in the state and some of the things that he intends to do, and again about the upcoming elections, his stand and the political party where he belongs. Governor Oti Alex has also affirmed that he's not ready to leave the Labour Party any moment from now, talking about the recent defection from different political parties to APC. Well, Governor Oti did not leave any stone unturned by making an extensive emphasis on why people defect and why him himself is going to remain on Labour Party with uh, Peter Obi. Governor Oti never forgot to give credit to legendary Mrs. Nena Oti, the woman who made his election victory possible. Well, these are all what you're going to be hearing on this interview. Stay tuned and watch this video to the end. I'll be right back. Don't forget to share your opinion respectively.
Welcome to another interview session with Governor Alex Otti of Abia. He leads a state called God's own state. And it's a state of a lot of enterprise when you look at the antecedents of Aba. A sprawling town from its colonial days and a heart and a hub for business in the southeast region. The big question is, how is Governor Otti going to bring his banking experience to revolutionize this state? Your Excellency, pleasure to have you on the show.
Nice to have you, Nabia. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
Welcome from Washington. Was it Washington?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much.
I was watching you on the screen.
Thank you so
Tried
much.
to wave, you didn't respond.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Welcome.
Your Excellency, you got here by the grace of God and your campaign, but most importantly, a very important woman, that great professor at INEC that decided not to compromise. You want to say something about that great woman and state her name extensively, because we live in a country where we don't celebrate heroes.
Thank you very much. And I want to start by welcoming you once again to Abia. Thank you for the first question, because you're very right. A lot of times we don't celebrate people. And I've had time to actually say good things about her. I didn't know her from Adam. Never met her. And when she was selected for that role, that was just like 48, 72 hours before the election. So I was a bit scared because when she was appointed Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Owerri, I tried to reach out to her because she bears the same surname. She's Otti, Professor Nenaya Otti. So, and I guess that was 2021. So I got her number, tried to call her, she didn't respond. I sent a text message congratulating her, she didn't also respond. So I just said, okay, I left her. And 2 years later, she was now going to be the returning officer. But then, most importantly, I left everything in the hands of God. And then the election came. If you recall, I've been in this process since 2015. And a particular local government was always used to falsify the results of the election. And that's Obingwa. Again, in 2019, it happened. So 2023, the election, it was clear that I was going to win the election again. And as the results kept trickling in from the different local governments, the tally was increasing. I mean, the difference was increasing. And what they did at that time was just wait. So at some point when they thought enough local governments had come in, they falsified the result, moved it to 80,000 from there to 90,000. It ended at 108,000. But then this woman rejected those falsified results and said she was going to stick to the results that came from the polling units. And the rest now is history. So we cannot tell the story of the changes that have happened in Abia State, the new Abia, as we call it, without reference to Professor Nenayoti. We thank God for her. So I strongly believe that the hand of God was in the whole process. It was God that brought her. So my tribute to her. Thank you.
And tribute to courage. But those in the opposition still say a lot of things about you. Let me tell you some of the things they say. They say you are awarded the most expensive contract in Nigeria, 5-kilometer Port Harcourt Road, Aba for 32 billion to Julius Berger, chaired by your friend. These are kind of the things they say in the opposition about you. Also hear one of it. They say you abandoned the new government house, that nothing was wrong with it, and we are right here in your village. They also talked about the fact that, you were trying to take glory for the geometric power company when, that contrary to your public boast, that Aba is not even enjoying 24/7 power supply and the residents. And they also went ahead, to say that you abandoned the multi-specialist hospital that was done by your predecessor. So these are some of the things they say about you. I mean, what do you say to all of these things?
Well, the opposition will find something to say. Even if God was to come down to govern the state, the opposition will have something to say. So I think they are busy looking for things to say. All the issues you've mentioned are non-issues to Abia people. Geometric, of course I told the story of geometric. And I encountered geometric in my banking days when Professor Batunaji came to me, a bit frustrated. And this was several years ago. I was executive director in First Bank. I believe that was 2009, 2010. Yeah, just before I left First Bank. And I packaged the facility to help him rescue the geometric project, because the bank, coincidentally, that was funding the project at that time, stopped because of the global economic crisis. And that bank was Diamond Bank, where I had to go 1 year after. And they packaged, if I recall, about $80 million facility. Got the approval, but he couldn't draw because the bank at that time felt that the person that understood the project was leaving, and that was me. And as I left, he came back to me in Diamond Bank. And we sat down and provided all the facilities that he required to complete the project. In fact, we completed the project before I left the bank in 2014. But one problem after another. I believe that the way God wanted it.
What about the Julius Berger contract, that I talked about, that they said you gave to your friend?
It's a joke. Julius Berger is my friend.
Yeah, they said you gave it to your friend.
Who is my friend?
These are some of the things the opposition.
Okay, so let me.
We'll always say.
So you know what will happen?
Yeah.
I would like you to go to Port Harcourt Road after this interview. Talk to people. That road had been abandoned for over 30 years. Nobody could fix it, except Julius Berger. And everybody knows. So if you go to Aba and make this allegation, you'll probably not come back.
I'm a journalist. I just asked the question.
No. So what it is is that it's not 5.8 kilometers. It's a dual carriageway. It is something else, and I would like you to just go there. So the allegation of the so-called opposition, because they couldn't fix it. So somebody has come to fix it. And every other person is very happy. And Julius Berger is handing over the project to me next week. And
How much did the project cost?
It has gone beyond the 30 billion. So it's actually somewhere about 36.5 billion now. Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's good use of money.
Absolutely. It's one of the most important parts of the Southeast, not just Aba. Okay, so virtually everything is made on Port Harcourt Road. It's a very long stretch of road. Right. I would like you to see.
No, I saw part of it while we were, coming here.
No, you've not gone to Aba.
No, I've not gone to
Aba. Port Harcourt Road is inside Aba, not Aba Port Harcourt Road.
Okay.
There's a Port Harcourt Road in Aba.
Okay.
That takes you from inside town all the way to the expressway.
Okay.
Okay. So, and everybody is happy. Even the opposition is happy.
Okay. What are you doing as regards?
Okay, you also talked about government house.
Yeah, government house. Yeah,
yes.
And the specialist hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened was that my predecessor commissioned an uncompleted building on the 28th of May.
Uncompleted building?
Uncompleted building on the 28th of May. I would also like you to see it. My people will take you to it. So, and it is supposed to be new government house. So what did he do? He completed the ground floor, finished it very well, put Italian furniture. I don't like to talk about it, but since you asked,
yes.
Put Italian furniture in the place, painted it, and commissioned it. Okay, so the bedroom. So after the inauguration, I went there. When I looked at the ground floor, I was very happy. But as I went to the first and second floor, they were not even plastered. No sanitary fittings, nothing. So that's fraud.
Really?
Yeah. And
Are
I like
you
you.
going to probe
I've
him
not
for
put
that?
one dime.
No, are you going to probe your predecessor for that?
You have only 4 years. And when you get into some of these distracting things, you lose focus. I have too much work to do. Probing him is, of course, we tried to, we called in KPMG at some point, and I'm sure you must have seen that, where they looked at one of the accounts, and they found that some 10 billion naira was drawn for a non-existent airport. So that's the only one that we are saying, bring back our money or give us the airport.
But he says he's fixed the airport, that the airport is, that things are working with the airport.
Yeah, it's Odio Airport.
Otti Airport.
We've just flagged off the construction of the Abia Airport. That's better. Probing is a waste of my time.
But the question a lot of people ask is, if you have an airport in the way, why do you need another Abia airport? That's always the argument. Does it make financial sense?
It's a good argument.
Does it make financial
It's
sense?
a good argument. But the truth about it is that when you go elsewhere, you'll find that in a place like Texas, how many airports do you have?
But they have
Even
the-
in Houston alone.
I mean, I was in Texas. I was in Texas.
Yes.
I was in Dallas in what's it called in January. You have the Dallas Fort Worth Airport, which is about the second, third biggest airport in America. Then you have other airports around.
Yes, you
But
have
they
Houston Hobby, you
but
have Intercontinental.
You have the economic activity to carry it. I just came in from DC. There was Dulles, there was Ronald Reagan, there was Baltimore.
We are
Maryland.
thinking for the future. But let me tell you,
but
let me tell you something.
You don't have the funds.
No, let me tell you.
You're
The
pressed for
airport-
funds.
the
You
air-
still have to borrow money. Why you building it?
The airport is not mine. It's a federal government project.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's
So-
funding the federal government?
Federal government. Okay, so let me explain how it happened.
Yeah.
So the federal government came up to say it wanted to build a few airports, I think 4 or 5. And Abia was one of them. Okay, and it was not going to be an airport, it was an airstrip that they planned. So I went and met the president. And I said, Mr. President, the difference between an airport and an airstrip is the wrong way. So if you are going to do an airstrip in Abia, can I partner with you and make it a full-fledged airport? And he said, oh, that has no problem with that. I should go and meet the Honorable Minister for Aviation, Festus Keyamo. And I went and met him, and he didn't have a problem with that. So, and we sat down. You bring your own money. We bring our counterpart for them.
How much are you putting into it?
I'm not sure yet. But our contribution is now the wrong way.
How much is the federal government putting into this?
Not sure yet, too. That's the work is still going on.
So it's still in the ideation stage of the project.
No, we have flagged off, but then a lot of work is still going
But the
on.
money you will put into it, where is it going to come from? You have to borrow. Because the state does
see-
not have this, the
you see,
financial
you just
capacity.
sit down.
I know you are in the private sector.
Yeah, no,
You know how
not
to
just
raise
not just
capital.
in the private sector.
Yeah, you know you know how to raise capital.
You know, you are going into my territory. Just leave that area for me. It's my
But-
trade secret, money.
I know.
Yeah.
You raise money.
Yeah, so-
safe to call you Ezego in banking. You're the king of raising money in banking.
Yeah.
But it's going to put back a deadline on the states.
Don't worry about
And
that.
that's what we're scared of because most states
You know,
are
Rufai,
run.
let me tell you something. I just saw the numbers from DMO that in 2023, they said we inherited a debt profile of 138 billion. But that's at the end of last year that we reduced it to 66 billion. We've not borrowed one time.
So how did you clear it? How did you not borrow? You were doing
Trade secrets. You need,
No,
you want to,
tell us about
Then
it.
no, you have to consult me and pay me some money for me to tell you because that's.
Should I turn off the camera for a minute?
No, you pay me first. Okay, so, but the
But
thing
the
about money, let me tell
The
you.
opposition keeps saying, you are borrowing. That it's a. That all
And
of
let
this
them
is
come with the facts now.
the
Borrowing. Who
borrowing
did I borrow from them? If I borrowed from a bank, it will be clear. DMO will tell you.
But I would like-
okay, so
I would
let
like
me
to know the
also
figures of the airport.
Let me also go back.
Yes.
And let you know that by the time we looked at the books and the numbers, we found that it was actually 192 billion that my predecessor handed over to me as debt.
How much did it leave for
192.
you in the coffers? How much did it leave as money on ground
Okay,
for you to
so
run?
if you have money in the coffers, you wouldn't be owing. So we
No,
had
you
netted.
can't-
No, we
you
had
can have
netted
money in the
off.
coffers and still-
No, if you net off what is left in the coffers, we had a debt profile of 192 billion.
So he left nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
He left nothing in the coffers?
Nothing. So when you say, you need to understand, I can leave 100 naira in one account, and I'm owing 100
No, so how
naira
much-
in another account.
how
No,
much is the
listen,
money
listen.
he
That's
left?
how it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when you say how much did he leave, you are owing money and you are leaving money. Does it make sense?
It doesn't.
Okay, so what you do is you take the total assets and remove your liabilities, and you know what the net is. And I'm saying the net he left for us was 192 billion. So if you,
More than what the DMO quoted.
yes, because DMO didn't include pension arrears, which we cleared off. They didn't include salary arrears, which we also paid. We didn't include all the parastatals that were being owed, including Oboneano Polytechnic and then the medical personnel. So those we have taken care of. And today, I can tell you the state is running very, very well. Don't bother yourself about where I'm going to find the money, because that's my own area.